So a very good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So, Namaste sir. So I welcome Mr. Dr. Rajnikanth to our interview which we are conducting on what's the thoughts on education. So I kindly, and it's my honor and request to interview this dignitary at this point of time and for the thoughts on education. So now I would like, sir, I would like to introduce yourself to the viewers, a small brief about.
Namaskaram, Andy. I am Dr. Rajnikanth, the principal of Srikalahasteeswara Institute of Technology. I am working in this institution for the past 20 years. I have been a member of URSAI, Union of Radio Science Internationally, a life member of Belgium. And currently now I am working as the principal. I took charge as principal in the year 2019. As my institution was put under no admission category for the year 2019 and 20 due to various reasons, the management thought I would be the right person to come out from this crisis, and they appointed me with that hope that I may bring limelight to this institution. After taking charge myself as principal, I have talked with the AICT officials and I sought out very many problems that the institution which I have faced, and the AICT pleased and gave permission for admission for this year 2020 and 21 onwards. This is about my brief and my efforts towards my institution which fed me for the past 20 years.
That's very much great, sir. That's good to hear. And I think on this thoughts of education, we would be enlightened with your thoughts and your briefings, your insights about it. So I welcome you aboard on this Collegedunia.com and with the thoughts on education, sir. And I think we shall now proceed with the interview. So your first question would be, sir, that sir, you might have held great key positions in your institution, Srikalahasteeswara Institute of Technology. So I would like to throw some light on the throughout your profession. What are the factors that keep you connected with this educational sector and everything?
First of all, thrust towards knowledge that made me to connect with education right from my childhood days. I have very much orientation towards education. I remember from my third, at my age 3, I have started learning. Till today, I am also learning. That made me to connect with the education that personally. And coming to the career-wise, I have worked as head of the department, as placement officer, as admission in charge, and now being as principal. Different aspects that made me to connect with the education. Coming to the placement, the basic or the fundamental requirement for any of the parent or a student is to have a better job. So the placement is the right way or choice for an officer to work for the institution to make the institution successful, which I feel so. And skill development is the utmost thing required. It is possible only when a proper industry and institution interaction is there. So these are the various aspects that I observed in my career. And now being as a principal means who have the authority, who can drive all these things. So now I am working in that direction. I have power as a principal, and now I can drive the institution in different directions as the people, what they aspire towards this institution, not only towards institution, towards education sector, what kind of aspiration the people are having and they are expecting from education sector, which I...
That's right, sir. Even by listening to you, even I get to memorize that while I was joining into my BTech courses. Even I tried to, the foremost priority or objective was that to get to learn to attain knowledge and also for the job, as you said. That very much true, sir. That's very enlightening. And we shall further proceed to question number 2. And that's, sir, being the principal of the Srikalahasteeswara Institute of Technology, so what is your philosophy of the leadership as you're being a leadership position? And how do you describe that? What's your role and what would be your style of doing it?
Not only leadership, even I want to add some more word, a teacher or guru.
Right, sir.
As you have seen in Telugu movie also, I believe in it for the past 25 years. The hallmark of a true leader is to build a society that doesn't need a builder, that doesn't need a leader. My thinking from for the past 25 years is the role of a teacher is to make student independent in his career, in his life, and he never needs a teacher. One should be a teacher for himself only. Not only to the question you have asked, describe about a leader, it adds to a teacher also, which I feel.
Right, sir. That's very much true. Even in our sayings, the elder people used to say that after parents, it will be the teacher who will be enlightening your lives. That's very much connected, sir. You're very much. We are very happy that we have added this word, the guru, and thank you so much, sir, for that. And I will go into proceed with another question. That is, so, the education system in India and other foreign countries are very structured and they are very different and they have very different perspectives even further. And in your experience, what can be the inbound student that would be gaining and the studying in your institution?
First of all, I want to put one point in this regard about my institution. As there is no spoon feeding mechanism in my institution.
Perfect.
So, when there is a spoon feeding mechanism, you can make others to think, you can make others to build themselves as their own and being successful to the real-time situations. So, my personal feeling about my institution, the inbounds which you have posed, when you have joined, when you take admission in this institution, and when you leave the institution, you don't feel much difference between my institution and to the real world. All kind of situations are here and trying to mold them in such a manner to nurture about themselves on their own. And they feel that they have been trained by themselves. They don't remember the teacher also in much of the circumstances in their life.
Sir, your thoughts on this are very much welcoming, and sir, I seriously please you that you please do keep having this and keep nurturing the students in the very same way. Thank you, sir. So we can go to a further question, and thus, how does the curriculum of your college, Srikalahasteeswara Engineering College, would ensure the best practice of the industry? There have been different colleges in your industry. If we consider in Andhra Pradesh, it will be around nearly 150 to 200 colleges for engineering, and there will be a kind of students that are coming out of the colleges. So, what's your curriculum makes them totally different from other colleges?
Yes, to be honest, my institution is not an autonomous institution. So, we have a group or we have a fixed framework as what the university says. Accordingly, we have to act with the curriculum. But whether it may be autonomous or affiliated college or whatever the kind of institution deemed, whatever the institution, the curriculum gives an idea about fundamental aspects of various aspects of science and technology. Not more than that, the present scenario which we have in our country particularly. But I feel if we make the student to mold, to nurture themselves, that could be the best curriculum, which I can give a quote in this regard. We make our wards to learn alphabets, Alu, ABCD. We make to learn the alphabets and words. And we try to build the sentences at the earlier age when they are at their kinder age.
Right.
But when they go to real life, they will talk on their own. Even small kid can talk on his own what he requires, what he wants, what his desire is. So I feel, as you posed, the syllabus are like fundamentals, but it is ultimately the student who has to build their own world or what they want, I feel.
That's very insightful, sir. So we can further go to another question. And sir, any insights on how your college would be more welcoming to students on different races, like economics, the financial or the background of the particular student?
Yes, it's a very nice question which you have posed, particularly very aptful for our institution. Basically, this institution was established with a motto to bring the science and technology or knowledge to the rural people, particularly the community, poor community in and around Srikalahasteeswara, where nearly 35-kilometer radius, no such institution is there. The founders, they have a vision that in the year 1997, I think so, when I have gone through the establishment files, it revealed that they have a vision towards the society that soon the education sector shall become profit-oriented business, which I have to say, sorry, but the education sector has become business.
More into commercial.
So at that time, yeah. But our founders, they thought it should not be like that, and it should be very much available to poor also. And they have started this institution, and still the institution is running with minimum fees that what the Higher Education Monetary Commission fixes, maybe around 35 to 40,000, not more than that.
So nice. It's like very affordable to any commodity of the people, and it will be a very in-hand experience they would be getting. And that shows this is very great thing to say, and we need to point out on this. So, sir, we can further go into another question. Is that so? What do you think that your roles and responsibilities to the college and the students would be like?
Yes. My role is like a bridge between experts and novice.
Right.
University people are experts. Any professor, teacher is an expert in his own field because he has his own experience. And the student who have trust towards that knowledge. So I want to be like a bridge. That's why I'm in this position. So I'm like a bridge between experts and novice.
Got it, sir. Right, sir. That's so much. So we get going into another question. So what's your thought that should be a university's top priority should be that for next 10 years? What would be the planning and what are the things that to be considered by a leader or the management?
It's very simple.
For the industry,
big aims. For the coming within 10 years, I want to make my institution as the premier institution in Andhra Pradesh. Not in India or in the world. I want to say this. Because it was a premier institution in the district. Even some of the colleges used to compare with my results, with my institution results. And we have very good results till today.
That's very
So I
nice,
want
sir.
to make my institution to be the premier institution in Andhra Pradesh.
That's very nice, sir. We hope one day that would be done, and my best wishes with you always, sir.
Thank you
That's
for
a
your
good
question.
Sir, going to another question. So how do you like people to know about the university that may not be known right now? How would you want to do? It might be a kind of the same question you might see, but it's a totally different one. So how do you want to get? How do you want your college to be known in coming years? That which I have.
The unknown fact about my institution is the institution is owned by Srikalahasteeswara Swamivari Devasthanam. It was inserted in the year 1997 with the blessings of Sri Gnanaprasuna Devi and Sri Kalahasteswara Swamivaru. So, directly or indirectly, the owners of the institution is Sri Gnanaprasuna Devi, Goddess Sri Gnanaprasuna Devi, and Lord Sri Kalahasteswara. This fact is not known much to the public.
Right, so even I got through there and I have done research and I got to learn it's run by an endowment department. It's the only college in Andhra Pradesh that which runs on with the funds of the endowment department.
Yes. Thank you.
Right, sir. So, and sir, next proceeding to another question. So, what are some of the biggest challenges you see, both for higher education in general and for the institutions like you? You know, they might be a kind of engineering students, and there'll be kind of management students. There will be different sectors, different segment of students who will be getting into the commerce and everything. So, how do you find the biggest challenges for them in coming future?
Yes, I have seen certain challenges that who opt for higher education from my institution particularly, because much of the students are rural people. They don't have much information about the career, and they don't have knowledge. They don't have people to guide in a direction what they aspire for. Actually, what they should have desire. So this is one of the biggest challenge. The rural background is the biggest challenge for us to nurture or to educate them towards higher education. One best example which I can quote here is, I have a student who got only 64% marks in intermediate, even in his BTech career. But he has taken guidance from me and he got 71st rank in GATE in all India wise, and he studied in IIT Bombay 12 years back. So from his experience, he expressed that they don't have exposure towards the world, how it is going, and how we have to think. That what he has explained to me. And even in many cases also I have observed the same scenario, because much of the people have failed from rural. This is the biggest challenge I have seen.
Right, sir. I can totally understand this. I have even seen some of my graduation friends with me who have been like that, who weren't having that much of exposure. So I believe that along with the education as a package, as knowledge sharing, which also I think the students need to have exposure. They need to get to know about what's happening in and around the world. That how the one college should provide them the exposure. I think that would be really help them. So, getting into the final question is that, so how do you tend to establish a healthy relation and environment in your Srikalahasteeswara college?
See, being transparent.
Right.
Transparent is the best way to make healthy atmosphere, and which produces harmony among working people, which gives a good relationship between teacher and student, teacher and society. I feel that being transparent, think right, yes, do right, yes, and be right, yes.
Right, sir. So, sir, thank you so much, and it's very enriching session, I must say, and the viewers should be obviously getting the very insightful knowledge of insights about this and inferences about this, about your experience, expression, everything. And I would also have my best wishes with you and with your college to get into number 1 position in Andhra Pradesh as you want it to be. Namaste.
Thank you. I wish the Lord Kalahasteswara and Jnana Prasanambika Devi shall shower their grace onto you and your business and make your business more successful along with this institution.
Thank you,
We
Surya.
hope rise steeply with an infinite slope.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Namaste, sir.